I wouldn't say that I was really cognizant of the fact that we were like at poverty level or even below. We were living off food stamps. I remember a couple times where were we gonna have hot water the next day? You know, you just weren't really sure. My dad was injured, so his career in the Navy ended. He was a mess. He was a really big mess. You know, it's not the alcohol that defined my dad. He was still the most loving and caring person you could ever meet. He had the biggest heart, and he was still my dad. At 13 years old, hearing that your dad took his own life is completely life-changing. Each of us kids grieved and coped in our own ways. My brother, Colton, he just couldn't grieve healthily. December 3rd at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's just this loud banging on my front door, and the victim's advocate shares with us that around midnight, they find him in a vehicle and had killed himself. He was 14. 14, yep. That was probably the biggest turning point in my life. In high school, I just got involved in as many organizations as I could. It was a healthier option than drugs and alcohol, and saved my life, quite frankly. College, nobody can ever take that away from me. And so it's something that can absolutely remain consistent in my life, except with college, it costs money. There's food, there's, your bills and rent. And then you have to talk about your books and your materials for school. So it all adds up. I was looking at colleges. I had a list of like 10 schools. I spent numerous hours my senior year applying to scholarships. I applied to like 35 community scholarships, and voila, it was Fort Hays. You would think that a university with such affordable tuition, I could see how people would think that, like, oh, the education probably isn't as good. Wrong. The education is fantastic. Go from 8 in the morning till probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. On a Monday, I'd go to work in at 8, go to class at 9:30, have my classes probably till about noon or so. I'd work during my lunch break. I wouldn't really even eat lunch. If I had another class in the afternoon, I'd go to that, and then I'd come back to work till 4:30. I'd go to Verney's and work till about 8:30. I ended up working about 35, 40 hours a week, sometimes more, on top of an 18 credit hour schedule. Because I was working so much, it did make my academics suffer a little bit. It was harder for me to study. At that point, I was a member of the Honors College, and the director saw me just stretching myself thin and said, "This scholarship is going to be available. You have to apply." And a month later, received an email saying I was offered the $5,000. Like, it was just an ecstatic moment. That's more than enough to live off of. It was just like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. It's probably like just a very small donation, but such a huge commitment to my undergraduate career. Just right away, like, my involvement on campus just multiplied, because with that money, I was able to become more involved in Fort Hays Honor Society. The friendships that I've gained through that have been something I'll always treasure. The amount of opportunities that this university offers is just unbelievable. The quality of education is superb. It's fantastic, and I couldn't even be more grateful, and I will never regret the decision to come to Fort Hays. Dear donors, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your financial contributions that enable students like me to live out our full potential instead of working 40+ hours a week. Without the financial support I received, I would not have been able to serve as the president of the Fort Hays Honor Society, participated in research opportunities, or been a member of other organizations. Without the financial support you've provided, my undergraduate experience at Fort Hays State University would have been a different story. And I just need to say thank you so much.